Okay, so we are back in the storeroom, back for the first of the new videos. I gotta say, they haven't turned the fans on in here again. Don't know why. Hopefully it's not going to get too hot. But anyway, yeah, back for the new videos. Today we are doing games. Yeah, my gaming history doesn't revolve around anything like Sega, Nintendo. Never got into any of that stuff, was never interested. Being born 1971, growing up in the 80s, I was an arcade boy. Yeah, I spent most of my life at the amusement arcades. We had several in Dover, loads in Folkestone. There was two main ones that I used to go to in Dover, which I'll try to show you the building when we get back. But the thing about the arcade is it was a fun place to go. You had, you know, the cabinets, the tall cabinet arcade machines, everything from Space Invaders, Pac-Man, Missile Command, Joust. Two of my favourites, which were what was it? Tron, and you had the dial that you used to turn, and also a Star Wars as well, which was wireframe graphics. There was a tall cabinet, but there was also one that you actually sit down and you had like a Knight Rider steering wheel, and that was your X-Wing fighter controls. And it was an attack on the Death Star. You know, you used to blow up all the TIE fighters, and you went down into the trench to blow the Death Star up. Many times I played that game. Yeah, so that was my early gaming history. I then moved on to the good old ZX Spectrum. Didn't get involved in the ZX81 or the ZX80, but I went for the rubber key ZX Spectrum, one of the most famous computers in the world. 48K. Yeah, 48K. That was big back then. And yeah, love games. Games came in tape format, cassette format, so there was no downloading or any shit like that, or putting a disc in, and you had to wait for it to load, and wait and wait and hope it didn't break somewhere where you had to reload it again. The graphics were kind of basic, to say the least, but back then that's what we had. That was fantastic state-of-the-art graphics for us back then. I eventually moved on to the ZX Spectrum Plus, and then on to the Plus 3, which I believe had a cassette tape on the end of the deck, and I still have one of those computers here. Also, back in the early years of kind of like the late 70s, early 80s, my dad bought an Atari 2600 for both me and my brother from Argos in Canterbury. That's the one with the slap down cartridges. You have to slap the cartridges in, and you get really nice joysticks, and got like a little paddle joystick as well for, you know, the Pong, whatever you call it. Is it called ping or Pong? I can't remember. Where you have to hit the balls each side. Pardon. Careful. Yeah, and those graphics were just so unbelievably simple, but the games were gripping. And I still have that unit back home somewhere. I thought it was in my dad's shed, but I think it might be up in the loft. So that's kind of my gaming history. I never got involved in all the Wii and the Xbox, and I did temporarily have a PlayStation 4, but didn't have enough time to start playing about with games now, unfortunately, what with the YouTube channel and everything else. And all the time you're playing games, you're not watching movies. You don't watch movies anyway, Paul. Anyway, yeah, so that's my history of games. Okay, so that moves us on to today's specialised subject. Today's container contains a lot of Spectrum games from the 80s, as well as some PC games, and there's a few other knickknacks in there as well that I just filled the box up with. So you'll get a kind of an idea of what I liked, and maybe it will throw back some memories, and maybe it will cheer a few people up, and yeah, bring back some memories. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of like tilt the camera now so you can get a good look at the box, and then we'll talk through them a little bit, you know, one at a time, and give you a bit of history of them. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so here we go. Lots of stuff in here to get through. Various bits and pieces. First of all, we're going to start off with this. This is the Laser Basic. Yeah, this is if you wanted to get into programming with computers, because you know, computers back in the day, like the Spectrum and the Commodore and everything, and the Amiga, it wasn't all about gaming, it was about programming as well. And this came from Ocean, the software company Ocean. It's a bit dusty, it's got a lot of dust on it, so it's been in storage. But this is the secret of advanced games programming. So if you wanted to get into creating any kind of Spectrum games, then this was the best thing to do. And it kind of gave you an idea of, you know, the programming, up to 255 software sprites, operations that you can carry on, and yeah, it's just, if you wanted to create that type of software, then it helped you do it. And as you see there, we got cassette tapes to load the software in, plus also a book there with all the, like, the programming techniques and the coding and everything that was needed. So yeah, that was as you can see, it says ZX Spectrum there, it says Spectrum 48K and Spectrum Plus. So this was the software that you needed if you wanted to create the actual games. I had a go, I wasn't very good. Let's put it that way. Okay, so let's just get into this thing first. This, I've put this in here to keep it out of the way. I don't know why it's not with the rest of my Star Wars stuff, but it's just Queen Amidala with one of the ComTalk chips. Yeah, so I don't know why it's in there. Probably I found it hanging around and I decided to just throw it in. So here is the actual computer itself. This is the ZX Spectrum Plus. Yeah. Oh, that brings back memories. Just the sound of the keys. You got the Spectrum logo down there. As I say, the original 48K Spectrum had rubber keys. Unfortunately, mine eventually broke, so this is why I upgraded. Now I have the ZX Spectrum Plus here, but I don't have the Plus 3 anymore. I don't know why, and I can't remember what happened. But it had some little buttons on the side there as well you can press. And there was an adapter port on here to put like a joystick port or an interface port. Let me see, we've got the microphone in the ear. That's where you connect it to the TV. So yeah, I've never thought about trying to hook this up to see if it still works, but you never know, it might just still work. What do we got here? Okay, we got a book called What Poke. This is the Handbook for Spectrum, Volume 2, Issue 2. This was £1. I think this was kind of like a guide, I think. Yeah, this was like a hints and tips guide, where if you wanted to progress in a game, you could buy this, I think, monthly, and it would give you a lot of hints and tips on how to progress through the levels and shortcuts and things like that. Yeah, I obviously cut something out of there. I don't know what. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. And they called it pokes. What poke? I think I might have an actual another couple here as well. Yeah, see, look, we have What Poke Volume 2, Issue 1. Yeah, and it gives you ideas of how to progress through these levels. And here's 18, the Arcade Player's Handbook. Includes reviews and pokes. This issue, price £1, also for Saboteur 2. That's pretty cool. And it wasn't one of these ones that you buy in the shops or anything like that. It was an online, well, a mail order, because there wasn't really much online going on back then. But you would order it. You know, you would buy a computer magazine like What PC, What Spectrum. There'd be an advert in the back where you could actually send off with a check or a postal order. Yes, we had checks and postal orders. And then order these, and they'd come through the post. So that's interesting. He says throwing it down. Okay, let's get into some games. Right, okay. This was for the Spectrum. Most of these were for the Spectrum. This is Orman Cheap, the birthday party TV favourite. I really don't know what this was about. It's something to do with, I think, like a chicken, and you had hectic adventures in search of party goers. There you go. Yeah, if you're wondering what these codes are, SE15. At the time, I had such a substantial collection of Spectrum games that I actually rented them out for a small fee. I became the software rental. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Orman Cheap. Now this is one of my favourites of all time. This is School Days. Oh man, I had so much fun with this. Yeah, this was about, you know, going around to school classrooms and causing a bit of havoc. It's so memorable seeing these actual games that just come on cassette tapes. Cassette tapes were massive back in the day. And we have some instructions inside telling you how to load the program and how to connect the joysticks. Wow. School Days. I don't know if any of these are actually worth anything, but that's School Days. Next we had a bit of football. Match Day from Ocean. Yeah, I occasionally dabbled in some football, and you can see it's not the biggest software, you know, it's not the biggest graphics, but that's what we had. That's what we had back then. So yeah, that was enjoyable. It was an enjoyable game. Then we have for the Spectrum 48K and I know Spectrum 128K. Wow, this is cop out. It's nothing to do with the Stallone, but this is all set in the 1920s, I believe. I don't remember much about that game actually. Then we have Saboteur. This is kind of, I think this was kind of like a Mission Impossible type of thing. Look at those graphics, state of the art. But of course back then it was like, oh my god, you know, this is a fantastic game, absolutely fantastic. And to give you an idea of the game prices back then, £8.95. Yeah, no £60. And this is 1985, this one came out. And occasionally, you know, you'd go from the standard cassette tapes to these. So these were nice. These were like premium when they came out. You was going up in the world. What else have we got? We got Ghosts and Goblins. Hot Shot. This is from Elite. This is kind of like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer type thing. Yeah. Full instructions are printed on the enclosed leaflet. See, look, I've even got the leaflet. Even got the instructions with it. A scary cover, isn't it? What else? Then we got from Konami, I think it is. This is Hypersports. So I think this came out around about the same time as one of the Olympics. Oh my god. Oh my god. And I remember playing this type of thing at the arcade as well. Yeah. Oh, look at that. So you had the swimming, you had the weights. And it's like when you used to play skeet shooting as well. I remember the skeet shooting down there. It's like when you used to play Daley Thompson's Decathlon at the arcade, where you'd have a series of buttons, and in order for him to run as fast as possible, you had to go like that, really fast, for him to do like a long jump type of thing. So yeah, that's Hypersports. Seeing a lot of these games and a lot of these pictures on the back of the games bring back so many memories. We have Action Force 2, and now they started coming in larger cases. This kind of looks like a bit of like an espionage type of game as well. Dan Dare, many a time I was playing that game. Yeah. And those graphics, wow, I just love those graphics. Very basic back then, very simple, and you just had a lot of fun with it. Then we have, what have we got? We've got APB. Yeah, I don't remember much about that one. This one I bought from Boots. This is when Boots used to sell computer games. I know. Yeah, see, that's my childhood. Kind of actually looks a bit... Oh, I just suddenly remembered something. It kind of looks a bit like Spy Hunter. Oh my god, the amount of hours I spent playing Spy Hunter. Holy crap. Talking of Spy Hunter, there it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow, there is a Sega film actually that I played, but not on a Sega console. That is my childhood, right there. Fantastic. Oh my god. Still with the instructions as well for the 48K Spectrum. Oh wow. That's why when I come to want to play games, I kind of, on my iPad, I download like Spectrum converters and amusement arcade versions of the games. You know, I don't really go for all the new high-tech games. I love playing the retro games from the 80s, and you know, you can download an app on the iPad where it's got like every amusement arcade game they ever created, and you can just play a lot, and that's what I love. Then we have Vroom, Boom and Doom. Then we have, what is that? Road Blasters. Road Blasters, oh my lord. This is kind of like Pole Position. Do you remember Pole Position? Used to play that all the time at the arcade. For anybody that's kind of like not around my age period, this is gonna feel like, you know, we're in the 1800s. It's not gonna bring back those memories, but for people that grew up in the 80s playing going to the amusement arcades, playing these games, owning Spectrums and 48K, you know, and the Commodore 64s. It's gonna bring back a lot of memories. Then what have we got? We have Super Sprint. Okay, this might have been one of the later ones that I bought, because I don't remember playing much about that. Oh yes, I do. This is licensed from Atari Games, based on the original spinning coin-up. Yeah, I remember playing that in the amusement arcade all the time. I don't think it was called Super Sprint in the arcade though. Then we have Arkanoid, and I think this is like an advanced version of Ping. I think it's called Ping, kind of like Ping. I'm sure it was Ping. Is it Ping or is it Pong? Stick it down in the comments. I really can't remember what it was called. But look, they gave you space in there to put 2 cassettes if the game was longer. So that's Arkanoid. This, actually, I've got 2 versions of Arkanoid. I've also got like a follow-up, Arkanoid Revenge of Dole. Oh dear me. That's amazing. Yeah, this one, this is also my childhood. This is Paperboy. I used to play this at the arcade all the time, and when this came out on the home market for like the Spectrum, oh my god, I rushed out straight away, probably on a Saturday morning, and bought this. And you just couldn't peel me away from the computer playing this. Yeah, oh man. You can't see the graphics very well there, but if you're not familiar with Paperboy, it's kind of like a street. It's a road and it's at an angle, and you have all these houses lined up, and you just had a little kid on a BMX bike, and you just had to throw the papers and try and hit the door and try and hit the you know, the mail thing, you know, that plants the mailbox. That's what I was trying to think of. But you had all obstacles in the way, like dustbins would roll out, and you had to try and avoid them, or some car was backing into a driving space, you know, a driving place, a driveway. So yeah, fantastic Paperboy. I don't know what these are. This is from Metal Hammer, Metallica. I don't know what they are. Star card. Like I say, I threw a few things in here as well when I was packing up the box. So we have Joe Blade, which I really don't remember much about Joe Blade. Down here we have Imagine from Imagine Entertainment. Imagine was a major release of, you know, they were a company that released so many games back in the day on Spectrum and that. And this is Typhoon. So this is like an aerial combat, and you used to have to blow up boats and things. Cool. There's another one I don't remember. Freddie Hardest. I don't remember that one. Really don't remember Freddie Hardest. I don't know where that one came from. I mean, I must have bought it. Then we have another kind of airborne one. Yeah, I spent many a time playing that one. ATF. What was it? Advanced Tactical Fighter. I mean, look at this. Look at the graphics on that. Screenshots may vary. Still had so much fun with that though. Oh, we've still got some left in here. Then we have SDI. Yeah, not Not STD. STI. No, the odds are even. Again, another game I don't remember that much. There's probably some games in here that I didn't play that often compared with some of them. We have Tempest. I remember playing this at the I remember playing this at the arcade. That's cool. I can't remember the actual idea of the game or what you had to do, but I remember playing it. What have we got down here? Then we have Bomb Jack 2, another game I played constantly. This is from Elite, and this is obviously the follow-up to Bomb Jack. I think this was kind of like a platform game. That's cool. What is that? Exelon. Yeah, another one that I'm not too familiar with. So maybe I wasn't into that one. Oh, I think this one's got a broken case down there. Yeah. Oh, this is like that other thing, the laser thing. This is the game maker. This is a 3D game maker. So yeah, you could download this and it came up with lots of menus. Night Law. Who remembers Night Law? Wow. And you could kind of like create your creatures and everything. Yeah, unfortunately that case is broken, so I might have to try and find maybe another case. And I just saw that hanging around. That's just hanging around in there, but it's the same as that, so I take it it's exactly the same. Yeah, I'll have to try and find maybe a replacement case for that one. We have another one down here that's got a bit of a broken case. This is Nightmare Rally Spectrum. Again, another racing game. Yeah, this one's broken as well. It's missing a lot of the plastic. Next we have Dynamite Dan. And there's the first one. There is Bomb Jack. 48K Spectrum. It's still hard to believe, you know, what kind of memory we're on now. And this was state of the art back then. This is all-terrain vehicle simulator. Yeah, I remember playing that one. Oh, my hands are getting very grubby in here. There's actually quite a lot of dirt and dust. Then we have Stormbringer. Another one that I don't really remember much about. It looks like a bit of like a Dungeons and Dragons type of thing. If any of you played a lot of these games, stick it down in the comments. You know, tell me what are some of your favourite games back in the day. I've got a Memorex tape. I have no idea what's on it. It's just on its own. It's one of the record ones. So if I ever get a tape deck going, I'll have to plug that in and see what we can get out of it. Then we have 1985, The Day After. So it looks like this is a bit of a war game. Got some screen displays there. Fantastic. And this was, I don't know if you can make that out. I think that says about $7.99. What have we got down here? Oh yeah, then we have BMX Trials. Yeah. Turbo Esprit. This, I think, this is a bit like, what's the, I can't remember the name of it. The one where you drive around cities and you can run people over and that. Kind of reminds me of that. And I think you had to do various tasks. Yes, it's special agent equipped with a Lotus Turbo Esprit. International ring of drug smugglers are about to make a huge delivery of heroin, and they must be stopped. That's pretty cool. Oh, remember that one, Mikey. Oh my lord. I think this is a bit like School Days, I think, if I remember. Roland's Rat Race. Oh dear. And as you can see, Ocean, they were, I think back then, if I remember rightly, they were one of the leading software developers. What else have we got down here? We have Sir Fred. Very nice colourful cover. And then we have World Series Basketball. Again from Imagine, another bigger software developer. And then we have Ping Pong, a game all about playing ping pong. Graphics look a bit better on there. Wow, must have been blowing my top back then. Wow, I remember this actually. Select One. 12 great computer games on one cassette. Hunchback, Kong, Spectres, Timegate, plus Space Intruders, Mr. Wimpy, Moon Buggy. Oh, remember Mr. Moon Buggy. Dennis, Missile Defense, Pool, Transversion, and Meteor Storm. Fantastic. So this is like a compilation. Wow, must have had hours of fun with that one. If I can remember. What we got down here, then we have Phantom of the Asteroids. Yeah, I don't remember that one. Oh, okay. Oh, right. So these ones I don't remember. One's Masteronic. These were actually for the Commodore 64. Okay, so any of the ones that we've just gone through that had this kind of design on them, they were my brother's games because he had a Commodore 64 while I had the Spectrum. Yeah, see, they all have the same type of design. They have the Masteronic and the 199 range down the bottom there, with the Commodore 64 up the top. That's why maybe I don't remember some of these, because they were my brother's games. Oh, then we have, this is for the Spectrum, this is Biggles. Love the film, bought the game. Yeah, I remember playing that. Yeah, fantastic. And we have Mercenary. Got any room in here? Okay, then we've got some bigger ones. We've got some bigger ones, kind of like deluxe ones. So I think a lot of these were for the later Spectrum. So this, because this one says Spectrum plus 3 down the bottom, and Yeah, the graphics were a lot more advanced on this. So this is, what is this called? Star Glider. That's pretty cool. Graphics are a lot bigger, a lot better on there. As £15.95. Yeah, because these were like the deluxe. These were like the blue fans of Spectrum games. Got little leaflets in there. You got instructions. You got some posters. And you even got a novel all about the game. No cassette. Oh, no cassette tape, but that's right, of course. Now I remember the ZX Spectrum 3. I don't think it was a cassette tape that was on the side. It was a floppy disk drive. It's 3.5 inch floppy disks, I think. Yeah. So I think that's why that was a bit more advanced. The Spectrum Plus 3, because it was all the games were on floppy disk instead of cassette. So obviously they loaded a lot quicker as well, and were more expensive. I'm running out of room here. Where can I put that? There. And then we have another one, the Pawn. Oh yeah, we're kind of getting into photo type. Yeah, the photo type artwork now. Screen graphics. The graphics were getting better and better. And we have Driller for the Spectrum, featuring Freescape. It kind of looks a bit June-ish. And we have Dam Busters. This one's got a bit flattened, unfortunately. Yeah, this was all about dropping the bomb, you know, the bouncing bomb. So that's pretty cool. Bit squashed, unfortunately. I might be able to flatten it out a bit. Silent Service. The Challenge of World War II Submarine Combat. The Submarine Simulation for Micropros. It's like Das Boot on the Spectrum. And then we got another arcade creator to create some games. Yeah, unfortunately this one's got a bit broken as well. This is not exactly, this is kind of like very flimsy plastic, so that's probably why this one broke. I can't even remember how to put the old cassette tapes in. There we go. Yeah, so make your own games back in the day. What have we got here? We have The Hunt for Red October, another ultimate submarine combat simulation. Better graphics, looking good. The Graphic Adventure Creator. I used this a lot. I really did, and it's got a really thick series of books in it. This was, yeah, you could create your own images, write your own text and create your own game. Yeah, I did. I created loads of games. Very playable. I think this might be the last of the big ones. This is Gunship. The Challenge of Flying a Helicopter Gunship. The Helicopter Simulation. Again, another game that I played endlessly. Fantastic. what do we got? We've got a couple of bits and pieces down the bottom here. We've got some broken cassette tape bits. What is that? Oh yeah, a cassette thing. Some more of these, which I'll probably just throw out. And then we have, what is this? This is color speech. So this is a speech adapter, I think, for the Spectrum. I cannot remember what I did with it or what it was for. I don't know if it was like Siri back in the day. I have no idea. Now this I remember. This is the Multiface 3. I think this was by Kempston Multiface. Yeah, I really don't remember what it did. I know you plugged that into the back of the Spectrum and you've got a red button on top. But I can't remember what it did. It was important to have it though. You know, back in the gaming days. What have we got here? Oh, what is this? Well, I've got something that says X Pro 50 dark blue with arms, £42. I think this is I think this was a chair I bought. This is a chair that I bought in Staples, and I don't know why I brought home the actual advertising thing. That's very strange. Let's move that out of the way. Oh, we have the Millennium Falcon ramp from my Millennium Falcon, obviously. Probably wondered where that had gone for years. Got a bit of paper down here. Yeah, there's a receipt from, what's his name? Staples. And then I have a box. It says His Lordship on it. Socks. Okay. He's got His Lordship on some socks. Okay, I don't know where that came from. That might have been a Christmas present. 3 pairs of His Lordship socks, size 6 to 11. Okay, so I've got extra socks if I need them. Let me have a bag. What have we got in the bag here? I think some of this might be like Christmas presents and things. I've got a black cab. Yeah. This might have been something to do with not the royal wedding, some big royal thing that was going on, and they were selling lots of London stuff really cheap in a post office, so I just picked up loads of stuff. So I've got a black cab. And also we got a London bus, double-decker bus, and this was £3.50. So there you go, that's an old style London double-decker bus. Let me have a couple of beanies. America United We Stand. God bless America. I think this is probably after 9/11, possibly. There's a couple of them in here actually. Yeah. They must have been cheap. I've got a red one. And there's a white one. So we got, yeah, so we got red, white, and 2 blues. How strange. Don't know the circumstances of why they were bought. Maybe because they were cheap, and maybe it was just after 9/11. Another bag here. Very English. Vinmag. Kensington Gardens, Brighton, High Street, High Street, Oxford. Brewer Street, London, and Charing Cross Road, London. And we have another bag inside it. Okay, what is that? Oh, that is a... I don't know, why have I got that? That's just an empty box that a leather wallet was in. So that can go in the rubbish. And then down here, we have a Back to the Future at Universal Studios. I think this was like a drinks holder. It's like a bum bag that goes round you, and it's a drinks holder for walking around the park. That's very nice. Got some nice embossing on it. What's down the bottom here? We have a law badge. Sheriff Paul, South Fork Ranch. Very good. And what's in this one? Oh, I got an empty box of Xenical Avoid Fatty Foods 168 Xenical capsules prescribed to me. I can't even remember what is Xenical. I don't know. Oh, it's an it's an anti-obesity agent. That fucking didn't work, did it? Oh dear. In here, we've got B for Buffy. Yeah, this is a couple of loose Buffy the Vampire Slayer figures. So we have the Master. I don't know why these are loose. Maybe I was just displaying them. Oh, we have an R2-D2 as well. Yeah, he's not from Buffy. We have a couple of other figures in here. We have Buffy herself. And there's another one down the bottom here. There's a couple of weapons as well. And it's Willow. There you go. I don't know if these are the more collectibles ones that came out. But there's some good articulation in them. Pretty good likeness. I must have been displaying them somewhere. Shut that down there. And I've got a couple of bits in here. We have a Buffy the Vampire Slayer towel. Unused towel. I think I bought a couple of these. These were also being sold really cheap in a local shop, and I just bought up a load of them. So that's pretty good. That's unused. And the last thing in this box is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the board game, up to 8 players, aged 14 plus, with a lovely picture of Sarah Michelle Gellar there. Yeah, I don't think I ever played this. Should have played this with Lulu. Or maybe we did. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, there we go. There is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer board game. Okay, right. Let's put everything back. Okay, so there we are. We are done with all the games and container number 1. So I hope I didn't bore you too much, but maybe I brought back a few memories for those over the certain age like me. I'm just gonna take you out to where our amusement arcade used to be in Dover. The building is still there, but it is in a terrible state, and we sometimes wonder why it's still standing. So yeah, I'll go and show you where I used to spend my childhood and when I used to sky from school. Okay, so the first of the arcades that I used to go to was about there. Prior to the car park, there was a shoe shop just there, and we used to drive around and this whole bit here was the arcade. And I haven't been down here for a long time. This space here used to be a fish and chip shop called Europa. Yeah. What is going on? It went in the late 80s, early 90s, and then it was derelict, and then it turned into a Polish internet cafe or something. And now it's Europa Fish and Chips. What the hell is going on? Have I gone through a time warp or something? Holy crap. There it is. That is the main building that used to be my amusement arcade, where I used to play games all through my teen years. As you can see, it's been derelict for many years. But yeah, that used to be the amusement arcade. I spent many years. I even know whereabouts the Star Wars game would be inside. Wow. I mean, I do go past this quite often, but I never really take any notice of it anymore. As you can see on the sign there, Castle Amusements over. And right where I am now, here used to be a pub. And there used to be another entrance to get into the amusement arcade, kind of down there. I don't know if it's that alley there or round about here, but you would go down the alley. Well, no, you wouldn't actually, there wasn't an alley. It was actually the front of the building. So you'd go down the side of the building. Yeah, you'd go down the side of the building and all the way down the corridor, there were amusement arcades. It turned at the end and then it came out in this car park. And literally all of this car park was the amusement arcade behind the pub. So there we go. So there's a little insight into where I used to spend most of my youth. Yes, if I wasn't out causing trouble, I was playing games. Yes, as you do when you're a kid. But I hope you get a little idea of where I got, you know, where I used to go, and a throwback to some memories there. I've got loads more memories that I can share with, like Folkestone and Margate and all sorts of places. One video that I want to do eventually, I want to take you to all the places I used to go when I used to rent videotapes and buy laser discs and that kind of thing, and give you a bit of insight into how often, you know, when I bought laser discs, when I bought VHS, how I got into DVDs, my DVD stories and things like that. So that might be a video that will be coming maybe in a little while, but first of all we're going to carry on with the Storeroom series. I hope you're really enjoying this series. Sometimes you do a YouTube video and you're just bored, and you kind of wish it was a little bit more excited, and sometimes you think of something, think of an idea, put it through to fruition, and you get really excited and it brings up a lot of memories, and you can't wait to do the next video. That's actually what's happened. That's actually what's happened with this series of videos. I've got all of those storage containers, and for a long time I don't know what's in them, so it's going to be really exciting to just go through that lot. But I do know what's in some of them, and I've just realised I'm missing a lot of certain item which is not in the storeroom, so I'm gonna have to check to see if I can get my brother to check our loft, because I really can't go up there with my weight, and I don't think I want to trust Dad to go up there unsteady, walking around on the loft on rafters. I don't think so. He used to back in the day. My brother's the most athletic person, so we'll get him to go up there and have a look. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Like it by giving it some thumbs up. Don't forget the don't forget to subscribe. I still can't believe a fish and chip shop that we used to go in is back. I mean, it's not the same one, obviously, but I can't believe it's Europa Fish and Chips in exactly the same spot. It's so bloody weird. It's like I've gone through a time warp. Yeah. Fantastic. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one very soon. Bye!